Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on this broadcast of the newscast. Today we will have a special guest, the public problems analyst from Bogota, Andres Wilches. Good afternoon, Andres. How are you? And welcome to our program.
Good night, everyone. Thank you, Eliana, for inviting me here. To be honest, it's an honor to share time with you. And well, let's hope all the people who are watching can enjoy this interview.
Today we are going to present a program related to the most important problems of Bogota in the time. I would like Andres to tell us a bit about the last survey carried out by 11 citizens of Bogota.
Of course, Eliana. I mean, it's kind of interesting because it was a survey where they could show why they are worried about, all the problematic that Bogota is facing right now and how they have been affected by them. Also, we wanted to get some feedback from them, and they gave us some solutions to improve basically these problematics.
Very good. Could you please tell us about the results of this survey? To begin with, what were the most prominent problems and which were the least impactful at the time?
Well, I would like to share with you guys some charts. Like over there, you can see that the problems that are affecting Bogota, it's actually the insecurity, crime. We can see that 100% of people are agree with this problematic. In the second place, you can see there, Eliana, that we have basically corruption with 63.6. Oh, and it means that 7 people of 11 consider that these problematics affect in a notorious way the city. And in the third place, you can see over there in the chart that we have the pollution with 36.4% in the chart.
First, I understand that these three problems include the progress of the city and directly affect its inhabitants. In the case of insecurity and crime, the mayor Claudia Lopez has talking too much about taking drastic measures to prevent crime from taking over Bogota. In his campaign for mayor, one of his most outstanding proposal was to increase the number of police in the city and security cameras to have control. Um, what do people think about it? What could be the possible solution to insecurity according to the citizens?
Well, citizens are agree with Mayor's idea. In addition to that, they believe in following up the localities and the kind of crimes that are committed in the city are the key to avoid them. At the same time, if we push in a harder way, the criminals that could work to decrease this problematic.
I understand, Andres. Now, I would like to talk a little about corruption and what Bogotans think about it.
The corruption and the economic inequality are problems that affect the progress in the city, and I believe that people in general uh, see those problems as they are, like just destruction. Uh, let's say that according to the survey, they consider that uh, if we modify the punishment with the white collar, they they can be, or this problematic basically can be uh, eradicated, but we need to punish harder.
Continue with the third problem most named by those survey. I think that environmental pollution is a social problem, one of lack of awareness and belonging to the city. I'd like to know what the citizens think.
Well, I'm completely agree with you, Eliana. However, there is a problem that the mayor has to assume. To be honest with you, uh, in this moment during this crisis, we can see how, like, little by little, the pollution has been decreasing, because, well, people are not going out, and basically, the orange alert we used to have uh, is not there anymore. So I think it's a good thing that is happening during this crisis.
Of course, Andres, it is a great idea. Um, now, let's talk a little about the other issues within the survey. Gender inequality, domestic violence, poor quality of health system. Um, Problems that I think are at this time the most worrying to the government for health crisis facing the country.
Of course, Eliana, even though when we can see that there are three problematics that are happening right now, uh, we need to consider that these questions are not focused on the coronavirus crisis directly. Let's say that they are the result or the consequence of the coronavirus, right? And it's important for people to know that the domestic violence, and of course poor of the poor of health system uh, are now something that is getting worse, but it's something that it didn't used to be, you know and we need to consider that too.
Continuing with this topic, another question asked in the questionnaire was exactly who satisfied people work with the health system due to the crisis. What were the results, Andres?
Sure, Alien. I mean, you can see that the survey can show like 50.5% is the qualification that we got. And actually, I mean, like, everyone knows that the the budget for the health, it's pretty low. It's pretty low. Excuse me. It's almost nothing. Uh, and it's not only in Bogota. It's around the country.
I can also see, Andres, that the other questions asked in the questionnaire are about the problems and their relation to health crisis. I think it is a good strategy to identify who citizens feel at the moment, and it is also an opportunity for the government to listen to their requests. Quarantine has brought out the best and the worst in people. Yes, it is also important that the government is aware of people's needs to avoid other problems in the future. Um, well, now I would like um, you to tell us quickly the results sorry, that you found in those questions?
Well, uh, the other questions like help us out to recall the other problematics that we can see on the survey. Uh, if you can see on the chart, most of the people said that for them the measure that the fiscally and government are taking right now are not enough, and only 9.1% think are enough. Think they are enough, actually. In let's say that we can consider all these actions taken by them are not enough to face these family problems during this hard time that we're getting.
Sure. Entering into the point of view of the citizens and the government's concern about this type of problem, uh, that in some cases, even if the justice takes measures, it is not enough. In addition to this, Andres, in the next question mentions gender inequality as an important problem, but that at this time is not a major concern for the state. What did the responders answer?
Well, as you said, Eliana, uh, let's say that the inequality of gender it's a big problem, but in times of the coronavirus, it's not something that people uh, consider as a big problem. You know, we asked the citizens if they were agreed with the government plan during this crisis, and 54.5% said not, and the other 40, 45.5% said yes. If you see, I mean, they are kind of similar. People try to show that even in this moment they are not worried about that. Uh, the most the most dangerous problematic that the government are ignoring in a way, uh, but it's something that it should be treated.
People were asked if they believe that crime will increase after quarantine, and we can see that most believe this will happen. Um, why do people believe that?
Well, Eliana, the citizens, let's say that they try to express in a way that the crisis, the economic crisis, no, not maybe the virus itself, uh, in this moment it's something to worry about, but uh, that's the thing. There are people who don't have don't have money to eat, either to pay bills, so it can be like, let's say, like, I don't know, like, that deadline to increase the crime as we spoke before.
Yes, of course. Well, Andres, to conclude, I would like to know what the citizens are successful about when the coronavirus has helped the environment. Since in the survey, the majority think that the environment is the greatest beneficiary.
Well, Eliana, what could I say? People breathe poor air, and even though they are under lockdown, uh, war is better, and it's also important to know that.
Of course, Andres, I agree. Thank you very much again for this interview, and thank you to all our viewers. See you later.